Tesla makes billions from something most people have never even heard of. It's not the cars, it's not full self-driving, and it's not even energy. In fact, for a large part of its history, Tesla made money without selling profitable vehicles at all. To really understand Tesla, you have to stop thinking about it as a car company. You have to think of it as a system, one built around regulation, software, energy, and scale, with cars acting as the entry point. For most of its early life, Tesla struggled. Manufacturing electric vehicles was expensive, margins were thin, and scaling production nearly killed the company multiple times. During the Model 3 ramp, Tesla came within weeks of running out of cash. Elon Musk later admitted the company was close to bankruptcy. But while the cars themselves were barely profitable, something else was quietly generating income in the background: regulatory credits. Governments around the world introduced emissions regulations designed to force car manufacturers to reduce pollution. Automakers were required to sell a certain percentage of low-emission vehicles. If they failed to meet those targets, they paid heavy fines. Tesla, producing only electric vehicles, automatically earned surplus credits, and instead of holding on to them, Tesla sold them. Competitors who couldn't comply, companies with decades of petrol and diesel infrastructure, had no choice but to buy. General Motors, Volkswagen, Stellantis. They paid Tesla hundreds of millions of dollars simply to stay legal. In some years, regulatory credits accounted for the majority of Tesla's net profit. Without them, Tesla would have reported losses. This wasn't a loophole. It was the system working exactly as designed. But Tesla understood the system better than anyone else. Regulators didn't create these policies to enrich Tesla. They created them to force the auto industry to change. The problem was that legacy manufacturers were trapped. Their factories were built around internal combustion engines. Their supply chains were optimized for fuel systems. Their dealer networks depended on complex servicing and maintenance. Switching to electric didn't just mean building new cars, it meant dismantling decades of sunk costs. Tesla didn't have that problem. It had no engine plants to shut down, no dealership networks to protect, no legacy supply chains to unwind. So while traditional automakers treated regulation as a cost, Tesla treated it as a product. Tesla wasn't just complying with regulation, it was monetizing it. And that monetization created a powerful flywheel. Tesla sells electric vehicles. Those vehicles generate regulatory credits. Those credits are sold for cash. That cash is reinvested into factories, automation, and battery production. Scale reduces battery costs. Lower battery costs allow Tesla to reduce prices. Lower prices increase demand. Higher demand generates more credits. And the cycle repeats. The harder regulators push the industry, the more Tesla benefits. This is not a typical manufacturing advantage. It's a structural advantage. And it's a pattern we've seen before, where the obvious product isn't the real business. Uber didn't win because it owned cars. It won by turning regulation, data, and scale into leverage. Tesla does something similar, but in manufacturing. The car is the interface. The system behind it is the business. This isn't just about building vehicles. It's financial and regulatory engineering wrapped inside a product company. But even with regulatory advantages and massive scale, cars are still a low-margin business. Tesla understood that early, so it changed the economics entirely. Every Tesla on the road is a rolling computer. It's permanently connected, constantly collecting data, and constantly improving. Traditional cars are frozen the moment they leave the factory. Teslas evolve. Software updates are deployed over the air. Performance is adjusted remotely. Features are unlocked digitally, and new capabilities are added years after purchase. This fundamentally changes the relationship between manufacturer and vehicle. The sale doesn't end at delivery. It continues for years. Full self-driving is the clearest example. It isn't sold like a traditional car option. It's sold like software. Sometimes as a one-time purchase, sometimes as a subscription. That means Tesla doesn't just earn money when a car is sold. It earns money throughout the life of the vehicle. That shifts Tesla away from one-time transactions and toward recurring revenue. A low-margin physical product becomes a high-margin software platform. And the larger Tesla's fleet becomes, the more valuable that software layer gets. Because software scales almost infinitely. Every update improves millions of vehicles at once. But Tesla's ambitions don't stop with software. At its core, Tesla is a battery company. Batteries are the real constraint in the energy transition. And Tesla has spent over a decade obsessively optimizing battery design, manufacturing, and supply chains. The same batteries powering Tesla's cars also power homes, businesses, and entire electrical grids. Tesla's megapacks are deployed at grid scale around the world. They store excess energy when supply is high. They release it when demand spikes, and they make renewable energy viable at national scale. Without large-scale storage, renewable energy doesn't work reliably. Power walls turn individual homes into energy nodes. Solar feeds batteries. Batteries feed homes, and excess energy feeds back into the grid. This is where Tesla stops behaving like a consumer brand and starts behaving like infrastructure. Infrastructure businesses are different. They're capital-intensive. They're long-term. And once embedded, they're extremely hard to replace. Switching costs are high. Contracts are measured in decades, not quarters. And competitors struggle to dislodge incumbents. Tesla isn't just selling products, it's embedding itself into critical systems. Transportation, energy, grid stability. When you step back, Tesla no longer looks like a car company at all. Cars are the distribution layer. Regulatory credits fund expansion. Software creates margin. Energy creates infrastructure lock-in. And batteries connect the entire system. Tesla isn't trying to win a single market. It's trying to reshape multiple industries at once. That's why Tesla is so difficult to value. It doesn't fit neatly into automotive comparisons. It doesn't behave like a traditional manufacturer. It behaves more like a hybrid of a manufacturer, a software company, an energy provider, and a financial system. The cars are just the entry point, and that's the part most people miss. This is Biz Decoded. Like and subscribe for more videos like this.